What's up, everybody? Today, we do not have an open for business with you. We apologize.
Yeah, we've been super busy.
Yeah. But
Trying to hit those deadlines.
we aren't leaving you high and dry. We do have something for you.
Yes. So we're just going to be talking about the creative process and responding a little bit to Peter McKinnon and Chris Hau.
I think it's important to note before we get into this.
Yes.
Like, this isn't a video to hate.
Yeah.
You know, like, we respect Chris, we respect Peter.
They do really good work.
Yeah, they do amazing work.
We're familiar with Chris's professional work, just as some of his commercial stuff we've seen.
Yeah.
And obviously his videos are awesome. His tips have helped us a lot.
Yeah.
And then obviously Peter McKinnon, for YouTube people, needs no introduction. Let's move on. We've got 3 minutes already here.
Okay.
So-
Sasha's wife is making pizza, so whenever that timer goes off,
We have to cut.
We're done.
Or we'll probably end up coming back because we're going over time.
No.
Yes.
The whole point of their video is how they come up with creative ideas.
Yeah, and some of the challenges that are associated.
So a couple of the big things that we ran into was making videos and that turning into views. The views not being the important part of this, right?
Yeah.
And towards the end, they came back around to that and said, views aren't important, but it still does matter.
Yeah, views are confirmation, right?
Right.
They're kind of like that. They're what make you feel good. They're how you know that people are seeing your stuff and they like your stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think like creators and artists, true artists, typically don't care what people think about their work. They just do it, and then if people like it, they like it. And I think like Peter is in that boat. I think of Peter as an artist. I think his stuff he has a very unique look. He's got a unique style.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you start to chase those views and you start to do things for an audience, you might be missing the thing that they're coming to you for in the first place.
Right, and I'll add on to that by saying it's crazy to me the amount of people that comment on our videos and say, or just shoot us text or call us or whatever it might be, but say, love the BRoll.
Yeah.
Love the BRoll, right? And that's like, that to us has became like, and we're not really big BRoll guys.
No, we're not.
But that's became
People are looking for.
Yeah, that's what people come to YouTube for. So I mean, telling stories is important and making things flow, but also having the BRoll, and that's where Peter came from, right?
Yeah.
That's how everyone knew him, because of his dope BRoll, and now he's getting into storytelling, and as you said, like the growth of an artist. Like I think he's still learning that. He's still learning how to tell stories, but he's getting there, right? It's just taking time.
One thing that I want to say is that, like, for me, on Instagram I have a little comment that I do that I don't push at all. I don't really care about who sees it. I do it 100% for myself to kind of share the things that I feel, the things that I think about. And I think when you're starting from that place, it's a lot easier to craft a world and to craft something that people can connect with, because it's coming from a place that's genuine. You're not trying to do anything. You're just creating something because it's meaningful to you. And if it's meaningful to you, it's going to be meaningful to somebody else, because none of us are truly that unique.
Yeah, to add on to that, I think like they talked about creating every single day. Like YouTube is their job.
Yeah.
Like, this is what Peter's job is now, right? So like views are gonna matter to him, because views is, I mean, not
money.
Not to be that guy, but views is money. That this is how he makes a living, right?
Yeah.
As well as the other things that he has, like his Amazon affiliate and everything. Yeah. So I mean, it matters. But trying to figure out the YouTube audience is like. Is another world in itself.
Yeah, no.
Like, it's crazy.
There's no predicting. I think what's so funny is that, like, I heard Casey and I start talking about how, like, the viral video can almost be hacked now. But I think that that's true up until a point, but also, like, spontaneity is still king, I think people really, I know for myself as a viewer, that's what I respond to the most. And I think the most successful YouTube channels and YouTube personalities are the ones that their story world leaves room for that. Anyways, we have to put a pin in
I was
this.
gonna say, let's break.
Okay, so where were we?
I think we're gonna move on to the next one.
Thanks, Tiff.
Thank you.
Shout out, wife.
The next big thing that I want to touch on
Yeah.
is sticking to your own schedule. This is a big thing that they discussed, and I'm not sure I fully agree with it, to be honest with you. I mean, they've been doing it a long time, but here's, they talked about TV shows, right? I used to come home from work.
They mentioned The Office and shows that they like.
So. Yeah.
Go.
So I used to come home from work some days, and my parents would have made me food, and I would nuke it in the microwave, and I would go and sit down on the couch and turn the TV on and go to the PVR shows and watch my favorite shows because I knew they were going to be there, right? When they weren't, how do you think that made me feel? We normally drop at 12 on Wednesdays and 12 on Friday. It was like 12:30, and Chris Brown, shout out Chris Brown, texts us and says, "When's the video going up today?"
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
like people know what time you're dropping or what time you're supposed to be dropping, and they're waiting for it. They don't know when it's coming. What are they gonna really check back on your YouTube channel if they're not subscribed to you? Like,
I completely agree with that. And this is something that I had to learn too. I think like Peter and Chris, like I just don't care. Like I don't care. Well, I didn't really care about the audience. I didn't care what they thought. I didn't care if they liked it or didn't like it. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to put it up whenever I want. And when it's right, when I think it's right, that's when I'll release it. Yeah. But what I kind of realized is it's never going to be enough for me. They're never going to be right. And like the videos that we do, I'm always telling Jonny, Jonny can attest to how frustrated I am with pretty much every single piece we do. The music's never right, the cuts are never good enough, the color grade's never good enough, the story's never tight enough. There's always stuff that I want to do, but having that deadline means you push something out, and then what I'm getting better at is getting more efficient in how I spend my time and how I cut and how I shoot and all that kind of stuff, because I'm now shooting it with in a different headspace. And this is something that I learned. Like I used to work for a news show, and like, man, you do not have time. Like you don't have time to be perfect. You have time to be good enough, and good enough means getting your facts right. That's all that matters in news. That's a real challenge. It sucks when you're an artist, or you think of yourself as an artist, but I think it's part of it. It's part of what it takes to be professional. And like, if you give yourself an unlimited amount of time, it's never going to be good enough, because you've got all the time in the world. Like, you have to give yourself that deadline, and then you've got to hit it. And I think also, prioritizing the audience. This is something that I realized. Yes. Like, I was putting myself above the audience. My personal needs. And I'm still learning this, but even if one person is waiting at noon, that's too many. I have to value their needs ahead of my own on a certain level, because the audience is who makes you. The audience, and like, you have to take care of them, right? And that's what you were saying from the very beginning. That was a phrase you kept using, right? We got to take care of the audience. We got to take care of the audience. And I never thought about it that way, because I was like, man, we're only getting 7 views. It doesn't matter, but every view matters, right? Yeah. Every subscriber matters. Shout out the 70.
One thing they talked about was the stress that they get from YouTube now. Like, that's real. We only put out twice a week. So what we've had to do, this is the point I was about to make. Talking about you mentioning about putting a time limit on something. It's really good pizza. What we've done is we've had to, like, we work. This is our job, right? But doing the YouTube channel is more of like just fun for us. So what we've done was we looked at our goals. So if you remember back in the video, we came up with the goals that we both are good at, and that was basically producing was the main one. And then one of Sacha's passions has always been storytelling. So we kind of took both of those and started this new series called Open for Business. But because we're running a business, we can't do Open for Business multiple times a week. We pick one day a week, and we're there for 3 hours, and then we're gone. We're out. Talking about stress, like, I couldn't imagine doing it 5 days a week. Like, we're even stressed trying to put out twice a week.
You want to create something, and you want to, like, curate your appearance to the world. You want to, be careful about what you put out and all this kind of stuff. So there's all the discussion, especially if you're working with a partner. Like, we're always going back and forth about this and that, and then learning to trust each other, because we've had to learn to trust each other in a completely new way.
Those have been some fun conversations.
Yeah, we had one earlier today. But we're getting better at giving each other criticism and taking criticism and like getting better, right? Yeah. And realizing we're on the same team. I think the main thing that I'm learning is, like, just to keep learning, to keep You want to jump in?
Oh, that's good.
Keep learning from the audience. Keep learning from also the professionals, right? Like the people that are around you. Oh, yeah, so the other thing was, one thing actually that I wanted to say that I kind of disagree with. I agreed with a lot of what they said, and I kind of sympathize with their creative process, because they've been doing it for years, we've only been doing it for a couple of months. And was this, they were talking about personality, and how like YouTube is about personality, and I've always made the argument that YouTube is a cult of personality, and that's kind of what it's about. But I've also kind of realized that it's also about character, and like there's a difference between personality and character. And when the people that you actually follow and the people that you engage with, they're not just personalities, they're characters, and they have layers, and they're letting you in to different parts of their life. And it sucks, it's a vulnerability thing, but that's part of what makes successful YouTube channels. The misconception, I got this from Arent Porteous, shout out Arent Porteous. The misconception is about YouTube and social media is that there's a stage there waiting for you to step out on, and you're just gonna make a video and walk out and boom, you know, you're gonna get 100,000 views on it right off the hop. But that's not true. There isn't a stage. There's a plot of land. You have to get there, you have to break ground, build the stage, put the seats in, you know, build the whole auditorium, get people in the auditorium, and then walk out onto the stage, and then have your moment, and then you have to keep their attention. That starts from the first video you make, on and on and on and on and on. You're always building and adding to that, and that's how it works. And so the way to do that, we've kind of realized from watching people, is you got to push out content, and that's where the work comes in, right? Because the thing that draws people into that building to see you, you know, it's the Jerry Seinfeld question, right? Are they coming to see you, or are they coming to see the act? And like, you know, Chris Rock says they're coming to see you, and Jerry says they're coming to see the act, and Ricky Gervais says they're coming to laugh. You know, there's so many different ways to skin that cat. Who are you? What is your show? What's the frame? What's the formula that you've built? And then leaning into that.
On that note, we hope you enjoyed this video. I guess an insight into our thoughts into that creative process. And if you want to watch Peter's video, it's about 33 minutes long, but we'll put the link up above there. I believe it goes up above. If not, it'll be in the description. Look, you know, leave your comments below. Like, what do you, as an audience, as a member of the audience in the YouTube family, what are you looking for out of these videos?
Yeah.
Are you about the B-roll? Are you about the personality? Are you about
the education?
Yeah. Like, what are you looking for as far as when you come to these videos? Do you have expectations? Yeah, so leave your thoughts below. Maybe we'll pin a comment at the top and you can all reply to it, and let us know. Like, comment, subscribe.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.